Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a special guest today. This is, I think, number two in my series that I have now called The World According to Big Guy. That's a scary thing, isn't it, Rick?
I love it.
Isn't that
I
right?
love it.
It's scary just to think about trying to figure out how the world works through me. All right. So, anybody that knows me knows that's a scary place. But we do have some pretty good content in these, and this is a special one that we slid ahead of the other ones that I've already got done that will be released. So, Rick Christie, I'd like to introduce you folks. Welcome, Rick, to the show.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here, sir.
Glad to
Appreciate you,
have you,
buddy.
brother. Yeah. So, Rick is a partner and general manager with Empowered Martial Arts. And I usually don't get this close to him. When I'm comfortable with Rick, is I'm on the phone going, "Don't make me come down there." And of course, the whole place, gets a kick out of that because if I walk in, they just cut me into mincemeat, throw me on the mat, slap me around a little bit. And now they're slapping around my kids and my grandkids, right?
We're keeping it a family affair.
They have so much fun beating up a bot family member.
Hey, they give as good as they get.
Oh,
Let me
they
tell
do.
you.
We throw it back. So let's talk about Empowered a little bit. Now we're going to talk about a special event that's coming up on September 12th. You're going to
Sure.
talk about a little bit. But my family goes back. We're on the third generation, basically. You know, I I studied for a couple of years up in Chicago many moons ago at Olympic karate. And I ended up, I don't know how, because I was not even paying attention. I just go in for the Friday night fights and get the crap kicked out of me.
The good old days.
Right. You remember they do Friday night?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They do. Come on in on Friday night. I got this buddy of mine, a football player, said he can beat up any martial arts guy. I go, great. I'm coming to that one.
I'm there.
I'm coming to that one because there's one football player dead. So, yeah. Anyway, I used to do all that. And then I wanted my kids to be bully proof. And then my kids and I both wanted my grandkids to be bully proof. And I'm telling you, if you're watching this right now, we're going to talk about this big event coming up, but it is absolutely key. And this isn't just about beating somebody up. I'm laughing. That's the intro on this deal, right? But it's about structure, right?
Sure.
Tell me your feelings, Rick, on what you feel you bring to, let's talk about kids first. What do you bring to a child that signs up for your service?
I'd say the number one thing is confidence. Absolute confidence. Because when a child is confident in themselves, now that doesn't mean they're confident they can beat up everybody. That's not what it's about. It's confidence in being able to get in front of a group of people and speak. It's confidence to push back on a bully that's up in their face, trying to intimidate them either with words or physically. It's important for them to have structure in their life. The structure builds the confidence. The structure is the repetitions, doing something over and over till you get good at it. Once you're good at it, that's when they start getting confident. And when you see them, a child that comes in that won't even look you in the eyes, they literally stare at the floor. They won't go out on the floor. It's taken a month and a half sometimes to get a child out on the floor. Once we get them out there, once we make the connection, that's when the confidence starts building.
Man, I've seen it.
Absolutely. And the confidence builds the self-esteem. Once the self-esteem starts building, and it's not fake self-esteem. We're not just telling the kids that they're good. We're showing them how to be good at something and how to be good at being a good person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had that many years ago with my son, Danny. He was not a big guy. But he never backed down from anything. He didn't start anything, but I've never seen him back down from anything. I have taken him to get stitched up a few times when he was a
That
kid.
kind of comes along too. They
Yeah.
work together
Yeah,
sometimes.
he was willing, right? That's all I'd say. He was willing, that he was getting better. But it's up like that. You better not worry about having to get better. You better be good right now. But anyway, he got in there, and at the time, John Gaston, who is still involved, I know,
Yes, sir.
and he's the master blaster. He got in there, and he didn't talk about beating anybody up. He talked about discipline yourself.
Yeah.
Try to find a way not to seek conflict. Try to find a way. But what's interesting, when a bully comes up and you actually have some training under your belt, and you look them right in the eye and say, I don't think you're going to want to do this. We should be able to settle this. This is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And you can already tell if your words are going to do any good, but you can at least try. But you confidently stand your ground.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is you may not have to use what you know. But I will tell you this, if you're pressed It's awfully good to know it. And it worked well for my son, Danny, because he was a sharpshooter. If somebody said something, he already knew he was at a disadvantage. He'd just swing.
He's going.
It just done. So he got all kinds of confidence. And he also learned, as you train, not to go out and use it to be something you're not. And he became less of a smart aleck, whatever you want to say. None of that. He just really got into himself and he started finishing tasks. His grades went up. Everything about his persona,
That's the confidence.
structure, confidence. So that's what we're trying to do. Just briefly, for those of you, some of you know me, some of you don't. My background, most recently, I retired as a international child safety advocate. So I know a little bit something about kids. I did that for 25 years. 4 of those years, I worked with America's Most Wanted, working on programs with John Walsh that he would approve for America's Most Wanted.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And working with governors. I sat in front of 17 governors, worked on legislation. And, it wasn't my show at all. I was there to learn, to be a sponge, kind of like what we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Right. And so those are the things that, we can bring to the table with this. And I'll tell you this, empowered martial arts is the best place you can have kids. All the kids in there, when I go, my son Danny now helps out on the kids programs.
Big help.
Your son Mason is a certified trainer.
Sir.
You don't want to run into his kid at all. Hey, Mason.
Glad he's on my side. Let's put it that way.
Mason, don't make me come down there, bro. Okay? He loves that.
Don't make us come
Don't make us come
We're
down there,
together
Mason.
today.
Yeah. Okay. 2-on-1, we might have a chance.
You might
I'm
be
not
on your
sure.
own on that one, though,
Thanks.
sir. I don't know if I
Appreciate
want
it.
any part of
Yeah.
that
He
today.
threw me right to the wolves, Yeah, Mason is a bad unit, but a great trainer, patience of a saint. He has the patience with the kids. He loves the kids, teaches them, and he really teaches them respect. When you're talking to him, the kids say, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, and they are trained right. So let's talk a little bit about the safety program that's coming up, and I'm involved, so
Sure.
I'm excited that I'm going to be there. It's going to be, I'll tell a little bit, and then you can tell some more on it here, Rick. It's going to be September the 12th, which is a Saturday. It is going to be from noon until 2. Now, if we are going to be doing some digital fingerprinting, Rick has brought in one of my all digital photograph and fingerprint machines that I had, during the time that I, retired now, but I still have these units. So he is going to have one there, and it is capable of digitally photographing and fingerprinting your child. And they don't take any names. We don't take any information. You'll walk home with what's called a bio document. It's all 10 digitized prints, no name, no nothing. And that goes home with the parent. And then the parent would keep that at home. If there's ever a family emergency, you would hand that to law enforcement. They can immediately take some of the police nowadays have a thing called tracks where they can actually take a scanned document. Well, this is scannable. It's also scannable into the NCIC computer, which matches prints. So you could actually take this at a scene. If they find a print within a matter of moments, they can find out if your child was at that scene. That's amazing.
That's huge.
It's huge.
That's huge.
So the other thing I think that is as if not more important, over my time with America's Most Wanted and my own program, Operation Kids Safe, I developed a series of tips, real world things. In fact, the FBI still uses one of my tips, which is called check first. And it's simple, but aren't most basic things that are good simple?
Yes, sir.
It's something that kids can manage. That for years, all the kids had was a family password. Well, I proved at town meetings all across North America I could break a 5, 6, or 7-year-old password out of them in less than 30 seconds. Well, bad guys will do that. So you just walk up to a 5 or 6-year-old and say, hey, yeah, your dad told me to come pick you up. Hey, is the password still purple? No, it's Pony. Oh, yeah, that's right. We changed it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the kid says, yeah, I know him. He knows the password. So I don't believe in that. What I do believe is a thing called check first. Real simple. You check first with the adult in charge, and you teach the children to run to that adult in charge. And I'll tell you more about it because I'm going to be at this event Saturday, September 12th from noon to 2. What kind of stuff are you guys going to be doing on the mat? And all that stuff is free, the seminars, right?
Sir.
Okay. Tell us, what are we going to see?
we are going to go over some tips and tactics for kids, online safety, safety at home, safety away from home, safety at school. But the main thing that we do, and this is where I haven't seen anybody else do this. I'm not saying they don't. I just personally haven't seen it. Is we literally gear up in the suit and we literally snatch the kids up. We set up a scenario where
I've seen it.
we're the abductor. We're going to come up, and we obviously do our kids because our kids are trained to do that.
Right.
And we want them to actually go through the physical part of that. So if it ever happens, God forbid, it's not the first time it happened. They've got experience with it. To them, it's just another day in the gym, and they're going to get home safe.
Yeah. So parents sometimes say, well, I don't know if I want to scare my kids. Well, guess what? Let me just tell you something. And boy, it brings me to tears when I think about the things that I know that you don't want to know.
Yes, sir.
When you do what I did for 25 years, I counseled a lot of parents whose children were abducted, never came home. There's a lot of other words I could have used right there, but in case someone younger is watching this, I decided not to say the words. But I'm going to tell you what, there's nothing wrong with explaining to a child that they don't have to be nice to an adult if they think there's a problem. Because what happens is there's a thing called proximity. In other words, if a bad guy walks up, the kid doesn't know if it's a bad guy or good guy. And they go, hey, can you tell me where the playground is? Can you tell me this, that, and the other? We train our kids to be nice to adults and not be rude. So they step over and they start pointing. Boom, done.
That's how it happens.
Thanks for not grabbing me, Rick, by the way. Yeah. He would have broke my arm, but that's okay. We're not going to do that to the kids. But anyway, so what happens is we want to teach them how to get away from this. And the first step is check first. They run to the adult in charge. They don't have to mess around with a bad guy. But if the bad guy gets his hands on them, we're also going to show kids some absolute great ways to delay, not to leave what we call crime scene one. Because if they get into the car and that person takes them, they've got about an 88% chance of never coming home. Trust me, I know. I've done hundreds of town meetings worldwide, and my company safeguarded over 1.8 million children during the time that I did this, and I gave safety information and did town meetings all over Canada, all over the U.S. and Puerto Rico. So again, I've talked to law enforcement. I've worked with over 1,000 law enforcement agencies, and when we're done doing our meetings and things like that, we go out, used to have a cocktail, talk about things, and they tell me stories that made the hair stand up on the back of my neck, as you can tell, and didn't stand up on the top of my head. Okay, don't start, Rick.
No, I didn't say a word. I didn't even crack a smile on that.
All right, so during this time on September 12th, from noon to 2, my system is going to be there. Rick is going to, his company, Empowered Martial Arts, right here in Springfield, is going to underwrite most of the cost of this. The full 10 set of digital FBI quality fingerprints, all digital. No ink, no film, no mess. It prints right out in front of the family. You take home the only record of the visit. Won't even ask for your family name or child's name. No one will know who it belongs to except you. You take it home. What'll happen then, hopefully it'll be a short line, probably will be. I'll be there to consult with parents, right? I'll talk to them about different things that I know, different strategies. On the back of that form are going to be a list of all my safety tips. So you'll be able to have those for a lifetime. You'll be able to have a set of digitized prints that's good for a lifetime. Then, at your option, which I certainly hope you take the option, you can have the kids come sit down over by the mat. Rick and his team are going to show you some escape techniques. They're going to talk about different things. And, you'll have the opportunity also to maybe consider getting the kids involved right away. I found it's kind of like falling off a horse before you fall off the horse. You're better off to just go ahead and get them signed on. They have a program. What's the program where if they just want to try it, it doesn't commit them to like 8,000 years and $8,000? What's that program?
Yeah, it's just our basic trial program. Any student can come in, try it for 3 classes. If they like it, we'll get them signed up. If not, it didn't cost you a single thing to have them come in. Real quick, I want to reiterate on the safety thing where we actually do the snatch and grab with the kids. I have not had one parent ever complain that their child, I've not had one child get scared where they literally just freaked out and walked off the mat.
Sure.
And nobody's ever complained.
Yep.
So that is and like you said, that's a big misconception. The kids love it. I mean, they can't wait to get up there. To them, it's fun. And when they're having fun, they're learning. And when they're learning, they're getting skills.
Do you know who's afraid of safety? Parents.
You betcha.
Okay. And I was one of them. I had four kids. They're all grown now. But when I used to do speaking engagements, I used to say, listen, Your kids aren't afraid of getting digitally fingerprinted. Your kids aren't afraid of these techniques they're going to see. They're not afraid of safety information that they can learn to be safer. They want to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not afraid of that. Parents are afraid of it. You know why? Because you start crying while we're explaining it to you because you love your kids. I love my kids. I still love my kids. And I love my 10 grandkids. And trust me, there's not a grandkid that isn't bully proofed.
That's right.
I'll tell you that right now. So you get that as a bonus potentially just by getting exposed to this. All the stuff that's on the mat is no charge. I want to outline to you the typical cost of doing 10 digital fingerprints if you go to a spot where they have FBI grade prints is about $50. Rick is underwriting and his team is underwriting this down to $10. Okay. Now, had somebody say to me, we've got 5 kids. He's capping it if you've got 5 kids at $20. So you can have all 5 kids done for $20, 1 kid for 10. It is a deal and a half. And it's worth it, and it's going to be something you'll keep for a lifetime. You will not have to get it done. People ask all the time of me, Rick, they go, hey, what's the story on this? Our kids, do their fingerprints change? They do not. They'll be the same. So let's hit this one more time, and then we'll close it out.
Yep.
It's September 12th, which is a Saturday, noon to 2. Tell them where to show up, Rick.
1929 West Isles, right across from the Schnooks in Springfield. You can't miss it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you there. Bring the whole family, bring the neighbors, bring everybody, and don't miss this big event. Thank you so much for your time. And Rick, thanks for joining me. And we are out again for The World According to Big Guy. It's that simple.